rolling on that? Do we get that?
No.
Okay.
We made a point of not rolling until he...
I can repeat it.
We have some cue cards for you guys. Thank you. Get in the queue.
So we good to go or what?
Yeah, we are.
All right.
So I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself. I have a bunch of questions, and then basically I'm going to, whenever possible, integrate my question into your answer.
Okay.
So we have a context of what the question is. You're rolling in?
Yeah.
Everything's okay. So can you introduce yourself?
My name's Paul Bettany, and I play Will Emerson. And Will Emerson is the head trader on this particular floor of an unnamed firm trading in MBSs. So that's who I am.
You probably have your choice of every script out there, and you chose this script. Can you tell me a bit about what resonated to you and how you made your decision?
Firstly, I'm not sure I have a choice of every script that's I wish that were the case. But I got sent this by my agent, who was very excited, and more excited than she usually is. And I read it immediately. It came in, and it was really intelligent writing, which is rarer than one would think. And I really liked the part. I thought there was lots that could be done with it, potentially make it slightly more flamboyant, and it felt like David Mamet, but in a good way. I mean, that is a good thing, but it didn't feel like a bad version of Mamet. It was wordy and fast paced and exciting, and sort of I think I felt like it would give me a lot of opportunity as an actor, but also I can't stress enough how the knowledge that Kevin Spacey and Stanley Tucci were in that movie made me jump. They're two actors that I've always really wanted to work with. So that's the truthful answer.
It's a very topical film. It's a real hot-button issue. What was your involvement with the financial world, and did you think this was something that you wanted to deal with?
Well, I live in New York, and I was in New York when it happened, and...
Let me interrupt you a second. You can just give us some context and say I was in New York when the meltdown or the financial crisis began to happen.
I live in New York, and I was here when the financial meltdown began, and so I suppose my involvement with it was merely as a news story that I was really intrigued by, and I knew a few guys at various big companies that I won't mention. I don't want to get them in trouble, and was sort of so startled by how quickly it had fallen apart, and how these incredibly bright, smart human beings had let this fall apart through greed and sort of blind hope that the good times would not stop. I mean, there were rumblings that this couldn't last forever, and things don't continue to just go up, and that this would burst, and everybody just decided to sort of make hay while the sun was shining. And it's interesting. I think it's really reflected in the script. The sort of myopic quality that these people have. They talk about themselves and their financial community, but do not discuss and do not really think about the common man. Really, it's almost in a sort of Asperger's way. Asperger's? Who knows?
Asperger's.
You say Asperger's? Yeah. So almost, and they're having met some of those people, sort of myopic in the way that they think and feel badly for their community, the financial community, that is, but have no sort of make no connection between what they're doing and the common man, in quite a sort of almost Asperger's way. You know, it's been very interesting to me.
A lack of association.
We're picking up a fair amount of clothing rustle on the, but the other mic is fine.
Okay.
So I'm, you know, I don't think we can do anything unless we unhide it with that. But I mean, the other mic is fine.
Okay, let's
so
just keep
we'll
going on. As an actor, you have a greater sense of observation than most regular, normal people do. Were your friends able to kind of inspire you? Tell me a little bit about the preparation. That's what I'm trying to get into. How you molded and shaped this character.
Well, it happened. The length of time between me receiving the script and starting the job, I think, was about a week, maybe 2 weeks. And so there wasn't much time. I went to a trading floor and met with people, and I talked with a few people that I know in London who, well, one still is a trader, but were traders, and just, you know, through, it's a very full script, so a lot was given to me. And, you know, I mean, I remember seeing those guys in the, you know, who are my age, who were trading in London in the 90s, and the sort of preternatural confidence that those those people have. And I mean, so I guess that's what I did. I never quite know how to talk about. I mean, some of it's observation and some of it's frankly making stuff up, you know, and just trying to create a human being that I feel, Paul, feels has wasted an incredibly quick mind. You know, that the character I play, I think the sort of sadness is that he's an incredibly alert, fast-thinking human being who has, you know, spent his life in a quite unedifying way. And I mean, even in the film, he refers to having, you know, spent a vast sum of money on hookers and dancers and booze and just, you know, not having really fulfilled his potential.
Now you're fortunate